Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western practical astrologer, and I am here today to talk about the Sagittarius personality. So looking at the personal planets within the sign of Sagittarius as well as the Sagittarius Rising. The personal planets being the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus and Mars, so stay tuned. However, before we do dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and click the bell. And if you are interested in any of my services, then you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my Practical Astrology eBooks, guide and merch. All the links will be in the description box down below. I do hope that you find this video to be helpful today. Let's do this. Alright, so before we do get into this, please let us know any Sagittarius placements you have in the comment section, and do you resonate with your placements today? I would love to know. Okay, so just looking at the Sagittarius personality overall, if you have a Sagittarius personality, you are optimistic, open, honest, aspirational, and gregarious. There are these larger than life, buoyant qualities to you where you see the glass as half full, and you attract plenty of attention because you're so enjoyable to be around. You're exciting to talk to, you're interesting. And the thing about this is you're typically an explorer. You're someone who prefers to experience life. You open yourself up to new opportunities, to new possibilities. And then what you do is you share your knowledge. You share your wisdom with people you meet. You'll fill up a room with your enthusiastic voice and honest insights and opinions if you have Mercury in Sagittarius. You'll bring spontaneity, hope, and plenty of laughter to your relationships if you have Venus in Sagittarius. And you'll uplift people who are feeling emotionally bogged down by life if you have the Moon in Sagittarius. Indeed, you get people believing in themselves, and you remind them that the sky is the limit and they have what it takes to do anything if they really put their mind to it. It kind of makes me think of the song Reach by S Club 7. I'm really giving away my age when I say these lyrics, but the lyrics read, "Don't believe in all that you've been told. The sky's the limit, you can reach your goal. No one knows just what the future holds. There ain't nothing you can't be. There's a whole world at your feet." If you haven't heard this song before, I definitely recommend listening to it and just hearing how upbeat it is. It's just such a bubbly and uplifting song. S Club 7 used to make really bubbly, uplifting music. So on that note, it could be said that you are the whole package, okay? Think about it. You're often cheerful, you look for opportunities, you come across as friendly and likable, and you have so much valuable knowledge to share with others. Your bigger picture outlook can help others in so many incredible ways. Oh, and you can be ever so generous and lucky too. You would think that you never run into any issues, right? Well, here's the thing. You can also deny your sadness, reject responsibility, take things too far, bite off more than you can chew, and preach at other people. Preach at them your truth because you believe wholeheartedly in your truth. You believe wholeheartedly that your opinions are the best opinions. They come from the right place, from the most moral place, And so others should really follow your insights. I mean, how can they not? You've seen how your life can change in remarkable ways by following your beliefs and your moral compass. And yes, your morals and your beliefs and your wisdom can truly help other people. But then on the other hand, your journey of self-discovery might not be the best path for someone else. See, when you notice someone else not living the life you think they should live, of course you prefer it if people would live life to to their highest potential, to their greatest potential. You see the potential in other people. So if you notice that someone maybe isn't living up to their potential, right? You might judge them, preach at them, and act self-righteous. And the overly idealistic part of you can take over. It can start to take over, whilst the realistic side of you takes the backseat. And this is interesting because your symbol is the centaur. Half human, half horse. This part of you that is confined by Earth's restrictions, and this other part of you that looks beyond this Earth. You look at the skies, the stars, the galaxies, and you look at religion and spirituality and philosophy. Also, there is this part of you that is aware of your responsibilities and your commitments, but then there is this other part of you that gets caught up in your ideals and your aspirations. Maybe you don't want to deal with certain responsibilities, but you run. You run toward making your dreams a reality. You want them to happen so badly, and often they do. They do. But be careful, because you can run too fast, or you can shoot your arrow incorrectly. Meaning what? Meaning that the knowledge you're giving to someone else might not align with them. And I think what you come to learn is that's okay. It's okay if your truth doesn't align with somebody else's. And let's also apply this to your personal life, to your own life. It's okay if your future didn't turn out the way you thought it would. You accept the human part of you rather than trying to run away from it. After all, you are the type of people who look toward the future. You're visionaries. You possess great foresight, and you can be highly intuitive and spiritual. But sometimes life can be cruel. Life can throw us a curveball. And I think that as you grow and mature, you learn to accept the part of you that considers life struggles and people's hardships. You realize that we can only play the cards we have been dealt, which means making the most of the circumstances and the current situation that we are in. You grow to consider the practical steps required in life. You become more disciplined, realistic, and responsible, whilst also being happy and remaining to see the glass as half full. I don't think you ever really lose the part of yourself that is hopeful, faithful, positive, and benevolent. But maybe accepting certain limitations and boundaries in life can make you feel even more blessed, fortunate, and lucky. Then again, perhaps you realize that sometimes in life, staying positive isn't enough, and that the physical environment we are in needs to change before we feel good about ourselves. Still, it's you who gets others to believe in themselves, and you believe in a bright future ahead. You uplift the room, you inspire others with your energy, and let's not forget just how much of a philosopher you can be. Something I've noticed in my own life from the Sagittarius people I know is they all have a saying, a quote, a message that they repeat to themselves. They repeat it to other people. And the thing is as well, is they follow this belief, this philosophy, or this moral that they have. I mean, you may possess very strong morals and you live your life according to your morals. It's not just about talking the talk, it's also about walking the walk here. Also, you care about what is happening globally. You're conscious of the injustices in the world, the terrible actions of humanity, and so you share your message in hopes of making a difference. Kind of like Aquarius and Libra, but you're going to really push your beliefs. You're a fire sign, and fire signs are passionate, energetic, and loud. You can also be impatient and you're willing to argue with others. You might join movements or causes or activist groups that you believe in strongly. And you'll give to charity as well, perhaps. It really depends on what you believe in, I suppose, but you can be leaders. Leaders who push to create a better tomorrow for people who need it. And you can also be fair-minded. Oh, and most likely as well, I just want to finish this off by saying that you love the outdoors. Hiking, walking, camping, hitting the open road, and getting out into nature. Like I was kind of saying at the beginning, you are explorers. Explorers in that you will get out there, but also explorers in that you love to soak up as much knowledge as you possibly can. Alright, so with the Sagittarius personality being explained, let's get into these personal planets and the rising sign in Sagittarius. Let's begin by looking at the Sagittarius Rising. So if you have a Sagittarius Rising, when other people first meet you, they are greeted with these qualities of openness, generosity, knowledge, and optimism. The way you walk or move throughout the day appears grand and inspiring. You attract so much attention due to your happy-go-lucky and carefree appearance. You might appear all glam, looking like, you're a celebrity or like you're about to walk the red carpet. But then equally, you could appear wild and free with zero makeup and your hair slightly damp, looking like you're about to go prancing in some type of forest with glee. And let's not forget about that ever so contagious smile of yours. And this is something that I notice when it comes to you. The way I smile, when you smile, your smile is possibly a very noticeable facial feature of yours. Yeah, when you smile, others can't help but smile back. And you would rather be out there in the world on some type of voyage. Sitting indoors, staring at the same four walls may drive you crazy unless you have something to stimulate your mind. You want action and adventure. You want to experience life. You want to make the most of it. Perhaps you often get compliments for being an explorer or for being really knowledgeable and informed. People gravitate toward your positive outlook as well. They might love how you see things, your outlook on life, just how you see the world through this lens of the glass being half full. They also feel inspired by you, by your vision, by your aspirations, by the things you have reached, and by the things you have been blessed with. Though speaking of being blessed, perhaps being blessed is what you remind yourself of when it comes to your aims, your goals, and your ambitions. You remind yourself of how lucky you are, how fortunate you are. You focus on the things you do have rather on the things that you don't have. Then again, there can also be this other part of you that wants to gain more. You can be excessive. You might not be happy at times with what you have because you're seeking new adventures, new items, new rules. Now, with that being said, variety is the spice of life. But if you're not able to pay your bills, for example, because you spent all of your money on a trip to Bali, you might run into some problems. However, I do think that you grow to become somewhat sensible and responsible and realistic. Also, it could be that you get told by others just how blessed and inspirational, how independent and aspirational you are. Of course, this is the first house, and the first house is the house of I am. Now, it's also important to locate your chart ruler, which is Jupiter, because Jupiter will give you more information about your knowledge, your opportunities, and your blessings. It will also provide you with more information about your adventures, your philosophies, your beliefs, though essentially, your journey of self-discovery is tied to your further exploration, your optimism, and your future aspirations. The Sun in Sagittarius. Okay, so here we notice the most expressive version of the Sagittarius archetype, at least when it comes to the personal planets. Why? Because the Sun is tied to our ego, our vitality, our confidence, our individuality. It's tied to how we shine. And Jupiter is huge. It's huge physically, and also it's huge when it comes to its qualities in the birth chart. Therefore, if you have your Sun in Sagittarius, you are the embodiment of big energy, larger than life energy. You confidently share your knowledge with the world, and you most likely do not hold back. You're also generous when it comes to the things you enjoy, and you feel so good about yourself when others recognize how knowledgeable you are, when they listen to your teachings, when they applaud you for your wisdom. My goodness, you feel great about yourself. And people typically feel good when they are around you. They enjoy being around you. And you're willing to be honest and upfront with people too, even if they aren't ready to hear the truth. However, it is also likely that you lack boundaries, or you can go too far. This could look like you overstepping a boundary or pushing your beliefs on somebody else. There could be this part of you that is a know-it-all. However, as previously mentioned in this video, I think that as you age and mature, you learn the importance of boundaries. You also learn that there's so much you don't know. And I guess such realizations push you to learn even more. Excellent, right? It's this whole saying of never stop learning. And I think too, you learn from your many life experiences. Also, your pride and identity are tied to your freedom, your aspirations, your morals as well. Your philosophies, knowledge, your intellect, and your spirituality are also tied to your identity. Perhaps you're admired and you're applauded by others for doing the right thing, or for following, that's hard to say, or for following your creative visions. And you want others to follow their creative visions too. And you can come across as social and friendly. But, if crossed, you're willing to defend yourself, you're willing to argue your point, you're willing to express your opinions. Naturally, do also make sure to consider the aspects that you have to the Sun, or if you have any other placements which make things quite different. Still, you express qualities of honesty, openness, freedom, and being expansive. And your purpose is tied to these things. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your Sun in Sagittarius is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. The Moon in Sagittarius. All right, so this is where we notice the most sensitive quality to the Sagittarius traits, the more internal and private qualities. Internally, you are an explorer. You have this traveling spirit, this freedom spirit. You need, these things are tied to your emotional needs. You need to move, expand, travel, teach, and experience. And you can be so uplifting toward others who need a pick-me-up. So if a friend of yours is feeling down, for instance, you're going to be that positive supporter. And it's likely that you need positivity and hopefulness from others when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad. However, the thing about this is that you have this difficulty letting others know when you're down, letting others know when you're hurting. You might keep your issues, your problems, your negative feelings and emotions to yourself. You might deny your sadness, deny your pain, and with the same vein, you might deny other people's sadness because it's too difficult for you to get into. It's too difficult for you. It's like, this is too negative for me. I can't deal with this. And sure, okay, sometimes people's negative energy can bring us down, and feeling down doesn't feel nice. And sometimes as well, people being too negative can't be good for us either, so it can be beneficial to remove ourselves from highly negative people. And also, I don't think people enjoy feeling sad, lost, lonely, fearful, or depressed, etc. But suppressing or ignoring our true feelings isn't exactly good for our bodies, certainly not in the long run. Now, on the other hand, when we start to wallow in our sorrow and we start to self-pity, that's not healthy either. And it's you, Sagittarius Moon people, who can help remind yourself and remind others that they can do it, that they are enough, that they can overcome that difficulty. You act as the cheerleader, this philosopher, this guru of sorts. And instead of wallowing, you keep focusing on what's important in life. Essentially, you can be so good at getting yourself and others out of a dark headspace. You can inspire them to keep moving forward. You can be emotionally supportive in this way. You also aren't the most sentimental either. You aren't going to be all mushy. You care about your visions, your aspirations, your future. And you aim forward instead of dwelling on the past. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Sagittarius Moon as well as other placements. But essentially, you are instinctively eager, idealistic, benevolent, and faithful. You feel deep down that the glass is half full, and you have what it takes to make your dreams come true. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your moon in Sagittarius is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Hi, it's me again. So I just wanted to inform you about the Practical Astrology guide that I have created. So it is a 20-day Practical Astrology guide, and it covers the ins and outs of astrology, looking also at how a natal chart is created. It touches on the astrological ages, it looks at astronomy as well, and also looking at those practical representations of the 7 classical planets and the angular points. So if you are someone who is interested in astrology, you're new to it, even if you are an astrology student or you're an astrologer, because we can all learn something different from each other, I definitely recommend this guide. My whole intention with this guide is that you will walk away from it thinking of astrology, hopefully practically and also differently. And my major key aim really with this guide is using the stars for self-awareness. So learning about astrology, but also learning more about yourself and learning more about other people. Plus, it is super affordable, costing only about £2 per day. Though, if you are interested in just a little taster, so looking at you dipping your toes into what this guide is all about, that is available for you as well. Mercury in Sagittarius. Okay, you are an enthusiastic communicator, an eager and expansive learner, and a jovial and honest teacher. You look at the bigger picture when it comes to learning, teaching, and researching. You want to know as much as there is to know about any topic or subject you're interested in, which you are highly interested in, because my gosh, do you show an interest. When you feel passion, you are willing to discover new and exciting information, and you'll share what you have learned with others too, in such uplifting, philosophical, and visual ways. Now let's address the fact that Mercury is in its detriment here, suggesting some challenges. And the way I see this is you can shoot off in all of these different directions when you're thinking or when you're communicating or teaching. So for example, you could be discussing a particular topic with your friend. Next thing, you're talking about something entirely different that had nothing to do with the previous thing. You might not finish your sentences, and trying to have a coherent conversation with you can be slightly difficult. Perhaps you talk a lot, or you take up a conversation, or maybe it's difficult for you to ground what you're thinking. It's difficult to ground the vision that is in your mind, and then maybe there's a lack of understanding between you and other people. Now, with that being said, your ability to consider the bigger picture and to discuss many topics can be amazing too. I guess it really all depends on the scenario. It depends on who you're talking to. And also, the listener in the conversation has the ability to speak up. And when the topic of discussion is really interesting to you and it's exciting, you're most likely going to listen, right? You want to be able to learn as well. Now, perhaps you're interested in travel, law, philosophy, literature, art, or geography. And let's not forget how funny you can be. You can be some of the funniest people, and you don't have to try hard either. It's just so natural to you to be funny. And when it comes to the likes of driving, commuting, and moving throughout your local city or neighborhood, you can be wild, you can be carefree. Perhaps some of you choose not to drive for such reasons, or you've had many speeding tickets, or you've had your license removed even for being reckless on the roads. Though as you age, you might calm down a bit. Also, you like to attend events that are exciting, events that really uplift the room. There's a lot of energy and passion involved. You can visit places that have plenty of character. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Sagittarius Mercury as well as other placements. But overall, you are witty, free-spirited, and you're also fair-minded when it comes to the likes of writing, speaking, and media. You can be so knowledgeable within discussions, and you're a very visual person, and you try to communicate your visions to others. You share your truth, and people are inspired by it. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your Mercury in Sagittarius is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Venus in Sagittarius. Okay, so we are taking this free-spirited, adventurous, knowledgeable, and uplifting sign, and we're applying it to your relationships, resources, and finances. And so when it comes to love, for example, you seek freedom, and you must feel like you can grow with your lovers. And you also, wanting to grow when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to co-worker relationships, your relatives, you bring plenty of optimism and energy to your relationships. You like to travel with your partners and friends and so on. You like to teach them new things, and you can see the best in them too. You're also willing to take risks within your relationships. You'll take a chance on love. Similarly, you're willing to take risks when it comes to your income, your wealth, your materials. So if there is a new creative project you really want to start, you'll go for it. Or if you want to leave a particular job that just isn't making you happy anymore, you're willing to leave. Even if you have little finances and resources, perhaps you trust that you'll make more. And with Jupiter being here with Venus, perhaps you are quite lucky when it comes to your earning potential. Then again, I suppose there is this likelihood of you spending too much, overspending, overdoing it, and possibly even using your money for gambling, or using your money as a way to gain more but there is a big risk involved. Though another possibility here is that you are talented at making money, or things just seem to go your way. Doors open when it comes to finances, when it comes to security matters. Now, you might not be the most affectionate or sentimental when it comes to love and relationships. After all, you could have this, let's just pack our bags and hit the road type of attitude. And also, you're so good, so gifted at uplifting your partners, uplifting your friends. You can be amazing when it comes to teaching, literature, art, journalism, architecture, archery, and travel. Perhaps you're talented within these areas and you love expanding your mind. You value furthering yourself and expanding your mind. You also value travel and exploration. You really do value freedom within your relationships. Oh, and back to the financial side of things. There may be some of you who, I suppose I mentioned this, but you gamble. So yeah, that is something to, I suppose, just really be aware of with this placement. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Sagittarius Venus as well as other placements. Though essentially you seek adventure when it comes to your relationships, you want a love that is expansive and exciting, and you value your positivity and your growth. Also, do make sure to consider the house that your Venus in Sagittarius is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. And lastly, Mars in Sagittarius. All right, so here we have the most direct and straightforward, say it like it is, personal planet in Sagittarius. You can be very blunt and you do not shy away from a good debate. You can be tactless in arguments and confrontations. You call it like you see it. You do not sugarcoat anything, especially if you notice an injustice or someone is being fake, they're being phony. You'll call them out. If you notice someone being hypocritical, same thing. You sure know how to cut to the chase, and icebreakers, probably not your thing. Also, when it comes to your anger, you can be so argumentative, fiery, hot-headed. You can also be rather impatient, and it's unlikely that you will listen to the opposing view or party. You want to be right, and you'll believe that you're right. Honestly, your anger can get a little wild. However, as you get older, I think that you calm down a bit. I think you grow to see that there are consequences that come with your actions, consequences that come as a result of your anger, which can threaten your security, can threaten your reputation. I think you grow to choose your battles wisely, with reason. It's like, is this argument worth it? Is this fight really worth it? Is it necessary? Now, on the other hand, you can be so courageous and you have a ton of energy to burn. You can keep going and you know what to do to boost yourself up again, what you can change. Though I suppose there can be downsides to this. Plus, you aren't the most focused, you're not the most consistent, you can lack direction. But you are very passionate, enthusiastic, daring, and inspirational. And you can motivate others with your knowledge, with your wisdom. And whilst you can lack strategy when you're younger, you can grow to be more strategic and cautious. You grow to manage your energy levels really, really well. And when it comes to your goals, you think about the bigger picture. And you can be highly motivated and aspirational. Maybe you are lucky when it comes to achieving your goals. A certain opportunity just opens up. Next thing you know, you're working at the job of your dreams. And you also strongly desire freedom. You can be such freedom-loving and independent people, eagerly so. And as a leader, you'll inspire others. You'll motivate them with your wit, your intellect, your positivity. Perhaps things like travel, knowledge, teaching, preaching, religion, philosophy, or art. These things inspire you. Experiencing other cultures and ways of life inspires you. Naturally, here do also consider the aspects being made to your Sagittarius Mars, as well as other placements. But essentially, you make for enthusiastic learners, scholars, coaches, journalists, explorers, visionaries, and travelers. And you can also be pretty fair-minded when it comes to settling conflicts and disagreements. I will say that there is this part of you that wants the result to be beneficial for all, though I do think that such things come with practice and age and maturity too. And you are so generous and intuitive when it comes to your clients, friends, lovers, and colleagues, and so on. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your Mars in Sagittarius is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video talking about the Sagittarius personality. Please let me know if you find this video to be helpful today, and if you resonated with your placement. I would really appreciate that. And again, let us know your Sagittarius placements down below. And as always, let us know your thoughts and your opinions on today's video. But with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!